Jimmy Thang from Maximum PC here with Eric from High Voltage Studios. And Eric, can you tell us about your new game here that we just played?
Yeah, it's called Dragonfront. It's a collectible card game, the first of its kind for VR.
Yeah, so I played it and I sort of got the impression that it was a cross between Hearthstone and like XCOM or something like that. Can you sort of elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, I think it has a sort of accessibility of like a Hearthstone type CCG, but it definitely has the depth and complexity of strategic experience like XCOM. We've got some unique spins in this too, some of our own flavor, like with the champion system in there that as you take more damage, it becomes less costly to cast on a playfield, making the turn of of a game a lot more interesting and intense. Keeps everything close and equalizes things a bit. The aesthetic is sort of a cross between diesel punk / World War II with a high fantasy, which is a mashup I hadn't really seen before.
Can you sort of talk about the differences between designing a game for VR versus traditional platform?
Well, I think there's a lot of differences between a traditional console PC game and a VR title. When you're designing for those titles, you're dealing with a 2D image, really. Even if it's 3D presented in 2D, you're not dealing with stereoscopic. You're not dealing with a 360 world around you. It presents a lot of challenges from not only how to convey information to the player, but things like UI. And a card game and a miniatures game is largely based around UI. That's one of the trickier problems to solve in VR, and conveying the right information to the player and making sure that they're seeing what they need to see when it's going on. There's a lot of challenges that make it very, very different, but there's also a lot of things that are really rewarding. When you're playing in a VR, to be able to, with the head tracking, to be able to look around and see on the play space exactly where something is, or really get a better representation of that. There's something really that feels a lot more real when you're playing that than I think if you just had a 2D representation of that in a traditional card game. That can only be so immersive.
It's about making it a little bit more epic.
Absolutely, it's about making it a lot more epic. I think this is something that we're with VR. I think there's a level of escapism in this that goes way beyond traditional PC and console gaming. You played it for a bit here. I can tell you from our own experiences, we'll get in this and then we'll suddenly realize, oh crap, we've been in here for hours and playing these games because you want to beat whatever strategy your opponent played. You try to build a better deck and set something up that's going to stump them, and you can spend a whole lot of time in there doing that.
Final question, price and release date.
We've not announced a price point yet, but we are targeting Q2 of this year for a beta. We're excited to get this in the hands of a lot of folks and have them tell us everything they think and share that enthusiasm we have for it.
Cool. For all things VR, check out MaximumPC.com.